Good morning, you wonderful individuals. How's everybody doing on this fantastic Thursday morning? We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We'll discuss what we talked about Tuesday, basically how this thing played out, what we're looking for it to continue to do. We'll also take a look at some FX pairs. If that sounds good to you guys, then let's get started. First thing is first, as you can see, I have one line on the chart. This was the intraday support that we were watching on Tuesday morning. Basically what you got was this candle here, you got to close below. So that would have made you at least think about twice about looking for bullish entries once that occurred. But if you look on a higher time frame chart, you're going to see what actually played out. See here on the hourly, it looks like you got 1, 2 closes below. Then you had 3 closes below. So that's a total of 5 hours that you were trading under this support level that we wanted to potentially buy. But if you go to the 2 hour, you're going to see exactly what it is. It is nothing more but a trap. So basically once you take out this to the downside, that closure right there signifies a breakdown. But then if, the very next candle showed you basically that it was essentially going to act as a trap. So even though, we're day traders and we operate on intraday charts, you don't have to watch the 5-minute time frame. Right? I mean, if you focus on the 5-minute time frame, you're going to see that, you might have even attempted to take a short, but we knew that, with the last few days, order flow was bullish. So basically what I said I was looking for on the daily time frame was this expanding candle right here to basically have a bearish day, maybe even 2, then you finally get a bullish expansion. So we did get the bullish expansion, but it wasn't quite the expansion I was looking for. All right. So yeah, I mean, that was the trade right there. Now what we're watching is we're going to watch that candle's resistance to see if that can hold as support. And you're going to see that it's already came in for a test of it, and you are getting a slight bullish reaction. The fact that Bitcoin has been bullish the last few days has been okay. The dollar has been phenomenally strong. We had a big move on the dollar, and it's basically just been trading sideways since yesterday and this morning. So if we could get any kind of weakness on the dollar, I think that could help Bitcoin get stronger. All right, and then we could see that expansion. Now, I did take the long entry down here, and I basically had my stop based off of this candle's low. So, I had to get up into here before it was even a 2-to-1 risk to reward, but it worked out, no problems, right? We took profits on this move up here. Once we got above resistance, we took profits. I moved my stop to break even, and I'm still long 25% of that position. And we're just going to see what happens from here. Like I said, that daily resistance is the next place to watch. But you can see you got tons of different levels that this thing could actually push down to find support. So I'm going to mark out this next intraday support level. That's going to be the level of interest from now. All right. So you can watch daily res if you want. You've already tested it with this push lower. So remember, when a level is tested, you want to see a reaction from it. You did get that bullish reaction from it. So if price does come right back down, technically I wouldn't be looking for that level to hold again. But it could, right? Anything can happen. So watch daily res and then 19,840.60. That's going to be this new intraday resistance from 2 days ago. All right. And it's just been sideways to up. I typically don't like to see price action be sideways to up because it feels as if though a short is coming. All right. So let me put that down. What if you are short-sighted? What if you want to short Bitcoin? Well, you got several levels you can watch. The first level that I would be interested in shorting in would be up here at 21,221. That's going to be daily supply. It was tested twice. You tested it here and there. And if you come back to it, maybe it holds on the first day. It does look to me like this thing wants to move a little bit higher. We still have a ton of buying going on. Let's go over here and pull up the Glassnode charts so we can look at the open interest, see how that's faring. All right, so open interest is staying at about $9 billion. That's not a low number of open interest. All right, a low number of open interest is $3 billion. $9 billion is still a pretty extended amount of open interest. And that means that you could see more downside because of that open interest. But it could also be, you could see a big move to the upside if the open interest is coming from shorts. But we can look at the put to call ratio, and we can see this orange line is the put to call ratio. Big drop. We had a big drop in puts the other day. So it doesn't appear that people are looking for shorts. All right. It doesn't appear to be that. So that's one of the main reasons why we're looking to get long, right? We were looking for a capitulation. We did get a capitulation. I'm not saying that it was the capitulation, but we did get a capitulation. We got a capitulation right through here. Boom, boom. So when we broke down below the 200 simple, that was the capitulation event. All right. So, and that's the 200 simple on the weekly. So let me pull up the weekly time frame here. Let's get our 200 simple up. I have to go into the settings cog for a second. Boom, boom. This is the 200 simple. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 200 simple. All right, so as you can see, the 200 simple on the weekly is trading above price. We don't have a whole lot of price action on this. We could go look at the BLX and see how that fares on the BLX. But even though, there still isn't a lot of data because Bitcoin's only about 13 years old and it takes 200 weeks to populate this moving average. So this is 200 weeks behind price. You can see with what data we have, Bitcoin has rarely traded below that. If it has closed the weekly below it, it didn't stay very long down there, right? And so far we've been trading under it since June the 13th. We broke down, closed the weekly below, and we've closed 3 weeklies below it since. So 4 total weeks we've been trading and closing weekly candles under the 200. So it definitely looks droopy. And since it can't get any kind of bullish momentum out of this level, you have to be on the edge a little bit by taking bullish entries here. because though we did get a small capitulation, $9 billion in open interest is still quite a bit of open interest. All right, let's go look at another metric. Let's look at the trend score. Once again, this indicator just basically takes data from not all exchanges, but most of the exchanges, most of the bigger exchanges, the more popular ones. And you can see that we have a lot of buying going on. We've had a lot of buying going on for a long time. So this move lower was what I was looking for as a capitulation. And now we've just been basically trading sideways, still seeing tons and tons of buying. So if we get a big spike out of this region, it could be a big one. It could be a vicious one. And since I think, there is still, there's still more downside that can come. We're waiting on CPI. CPI is going to be out in the next couple days. We're going to take a look at that, see where it's at, see where it stands. If we get a lower print on CPI, I believe that's going to be what we need in order to get a spike out of this area. If we get a higher print on CPI, then scratch all that. Scratch all that. You're probably going to see more downside, because that's pretty much what the Fed's watching. So that's what all investors are watching currently. There's other metrics that they're watching, obviously, but I'm not a fundamentals guy. I'm not a long-term, not so much of a long-term analyst, more of a day trader. So I don't really pay too much attention to that, but I do like to get an overall bias of what I'm trying to achieve when I'm taking these positions. All right, so we're not going to look at the long liquidations or short liquidations because there hasn't been much liquidating going on recently. Remember what we say, when you're trading inside of a range, you basically want to just try to buy the low end of the range. And if you're looking for shorts, you sell the top end of the range. And this range has been no different, right? Has been absolutely no different. If you would have been watching supply over here, that would have been a phenomenal place to look for short entries. You did not get a test of it, but what you did do is you formed a new resistance. Once you took out the low of this bullish candle right there, you could have been looking for shorts. And then if I pull this over here and put this resistance on, you don't necessarily want to look for shorts the next day after you have a bullish day. Although if you would have waited for the third day, look at that test of daily res right there. That was your short side entry. This was your candle to take profits. Why would you take profits here? Simple. You've got daily support right there. So just by following what I've been telling you to do, you would be okay. And you would be taking less positions and getting chopped apart in an environment that does not support a trend. All right, we are trend traders. Obviously, we love to get long in a bullish trend. We love to get short in a bearish trend. But when you do not have a trend, you can still make money. You don't need to, you don't need to look for a trend all the time. You can shorten your time horizons, and so far it's been pretty good of just bouncing in and out. These daily ranges are very small. They're small ranges, very small ranges. You can see the size of these down candles over here, how much different these are. They're pretty small. So we're not getting any kind of momentum yet. I do believe that we are waiting on CPI. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Can we please have a look at the glass node accumulation? Is it still near 1? Yeah, you're getting prints of 1 across the board. So, that's 9.8, 9.6, 9.3, 9.2, 9.6, 1. 1, you're getting a few ones in there. 1, 1, 1, 1. There's still a lot of buying going on. We know that people are buying it, all right? We just know they are. We know that people are buying it because in the weekly time frame, Bitcoin has never been oversold for this long. It reached oversold levels that Bitcoin has never seen before. So, in Bitcoin's entire history, buying an oversold weekly chart has been a phenomenal long-term trade, all right? Now, the past isn't going to predict what happens in the future. You know that saying, right? Just because you have an oversold market does not mean that Bitcoin's going to go higher, but in the past it has been a good place to get long. So, take that with whatever you wish, however you wish. As long as your risk is managed, you know what I'm saying? Then there's nothing to fear. Risk is the most dangerous thing to a trader. As long as you mitigate that risk, you're going to be just fine. As long as you're not over trading, revenge trading, all the things that young new traders get caught up in early on. You don't have to be in a trade every single day. You want to wait for the trade to come to you. That gives you an edge. You are essentially being patient, letting price to come to you. When it happens, then you take that position. I understand it's been very boring and there hasn't been a lot of positions to take, but the best position to take all week was the level that we were watching. All right? That's the level we were watching. So there's not a whole lot for me to tell you today, because after that level was tested and price traded away from it, that was my indication that we're probably going to be testing the top side of the range. We do have a liquidation spike over here that, that's probably what price is aiming at. So if you've gotten long this morning or sometime yesterday under $20,000, your profit target should more than likely be this wick. All right? Because when you're in a range, you want to treat it like it's going to stay in the range. You don't treat it looking for trend continuation. If you take profits, move your stop to break even, that gives you the best chance of catching any kind of trend continuation. Gives you the best chance, and you're positioned for it. All right? So, still range bound, not a whole lot to do. I'm long from roughly, we'll call it 19,511, because that's essentially where I got long. And my stop is now at break even because I did take profit. So if we get a spike back down to there, I'll be stopped out. And then I'll be looking to reposition long again down near $18,000. All right, so let me see here. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this over here. Let me discuss this thing here a little bit. All right, so let's go over here. Sorry, talking to myself. All right, we're going to switch to the day. Yesterday on Twitter, I posted that, Bitcoin on the CME futures is showing bullish divergence. We've known about the bullish div for a while. We've known about it ever since this swing low happened. So it's been in bullish divergence for a while on the RSI. And it's not lows. It's not wick lows. These are actual lower closes. You can see close, lower close, lower close. The RSI is going higher. So that is the very definition of bullish divergence. We have let me rephrase that. We had 3 unfilled open gaps on the CME chart. Those 3 gaps are marked in red right now on my screen. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. All right, so this gap down here, which was the low end gap under the old all-time high, has been filled. That gap has been filled. So we can get rid of it. Now here are your last 2 unfilled gaps on this thing. So if we do get a bullish divergence play here, it is possible that we get back up to this region. All right. I have a target of $25,000 based on the spot market chart. But if we do get up in there, maybe you get a pullback and then you get another run up to try to fill that gap. Gaps don't always have to fill. They don't in the stock market. But so far, this chart has filled every single gap. All right, now there is a little bit of argument, and any new people that come here are going to tell me that there's a gap down under 10K at 9.5. That gap is $150 or $115. The spread on Bitcoin gets much wider than $115. Therefore, that gap is filled. All right, that gap is filled. So don't look for price to get down to 9K. Just expect it to chop around. We got a target of a low-end bearish target. It's not really a bearish target. 26K was my bearish target. But we do have a yearly resistance level down at 13.8. So if we do get another stab to the downside, obviously we'll be looking to be buyers at 13.8. We've known about 13.8 since we broke out above 13.8. And I actually did a live stream discussing that level when Bitcoin was trading above 50K. All right. So we're well aware of that support down there, but we have to trade with what we have on the chart right now. We do know that, the selling is probably dried up. If we get a higher CPI print, we're going to look at all of this buying to get us a big, strong bullish break candle to the upside. And then maybe, longer term, we could probably target this gap here. 35K gap, probably, in my opinion, it could stay unfilled into your next bullish phase on Bitcoin. All right. So don't be targeting 35K. That's on the outer bands of where we currently are on price. That is a pretty big move to the upside. But we do know that Bitcoin can rock and roll when it wants. That'd be a 67% move to the upside to get back up to 35K. So yeah, and you got a lot of stuff under you. A lot of stuff above you in order to get above that 13K. So if we go over here to 35. If we go over here to the monthly chart, you're going to see that 35K is monthly support. So a return to that level could absolutely happen, but it's on the top edge of where I'd see it happen. If we were to get up there, my short bias remains, right? I would be looking for a short up there at $35,000, depending on, where we are on the fundy side of things. If the fundamentals still look a little bleak and we get a stab up to 35K, you bet your bottom dollar I will take that short. I don't care if it's a 1 month candle that gets all the way up there and closes at that level. I will look for a short there. But anything down here, I'm looking to trade up, not looking to trade down. I do believe the downside has happened for a long time. So now what I'm actually looking for is some chop. A lot of choppy sideways, like very small ranges. So right now, my near-term target for this bullish setup that I am trying to get in is $25,300. And that's simply this month's low. It's the month of May's low, right? So we get up to there, then that could potentially set up a new short side trade to the downside as well. But I do believe a lot of downside is in, at least until we get that CPI print. So this was the capitulation candle after we've made a floor. I mean, this looks similar to this, right? Sideways, breakdown, sideways, breakdown. And since Bitcoin does have a halving, that's why your chart looks like this. So we look for that to continue, whether it does or not. That's how we play this. All right, the futures, nobody knows what's going to happen. You got tons of stuff you can look at. You got monthly support. You can watch that level. I was looking to get positioned on the low of July. As of right now, the low is still there. It is still untested. Still looks good, but you can see that we're not getting any strength at all. I'm not exactly sure on when the CPI number comes out. I think it's the 10th. Excuse me. Let me pull up Daily FX. Bright screen coming. Let's pull up calendars. We'll want economic calendar, and then we'll see what's today. Today's the 7th, so maybe it's not even this month. Michelle says it's the 13th. All right, beautiful. So it's the 13th. It's not even this week. Let's do this. I just want to see. All right, July 13th. It's going to be on that day. The 13th is next Wednesday. Going to be a fantastic day. So maybe we're trading sideways because of that. All right. Sideways because of that sounds fine to me. On the weekly, you still haven't tested last week's open. That smells a little bearish to me because last week's candle wasn't a big one at all. It was very small. And you still haven't even tested that candle's open. You are into weekly supply right now. Right? You can look how beautiful that is. You're trading under weekly supply. So it does kind of look like, yesterday you closed right at it. Right at it. You don't get any better than that. Right there. It's almost identical. The closing price on yesterday's candle was 205.42. That's 205.52. So $10 difference on the close. Not bad. Today you're trying to break out above it. All right. So if you're looking for shorts, I suggest you wait just a little bit higher. If you fail to start closing, candles above this, at least hourlies, 2-hour, 4-hour candles above this level, then maybe you can look for a short and you can aim for this support down here. Right? That's a tradable event as well. Bitcoin's got a lot of money in it, so it can move very small and still produce profitable gains. That's what we love about trading it. It's such a fantastic asset. In fact, I've been focused more on Bitcoin than I have mainly anything. We did take a short on USD JPY yesterday. It was a profitable trade. All right, we were watching the weekly open on this asset. When we traded up into hourly resistance, which was right here, I got short and I was targeting daily support. This is daily support. This line is daily support. So I got short. When we hit daily support, I took profits. I moved my stop to break even. And then obviously the next hour I got stopped out. And then I, made a joke at who would have thought daily support would hold in an uptrend, right? So, you could have been watching daily support to get long USD JPY, especially since the dollar has been strong the last couple days. A beautiful tag of daily support and then a bullish expansion, right? So trust me when I tell you guys this stuff works and it's going to continue to work. That's the reason I trade this way. You don't see many people on YouTube trading this way. It's because they just don't understand what they're talking about, what they're doing. This is simple, very simple, and it happens over and over and over and over and over again. All right? So watch your higher time frame levels, take your trade entries there, try to do it in the direction of the trend, and you're going to do a lot better. But that was it, right? That's it. That's the only Forex trade I've taken all week, mainly because there has been nothing to set up, right? Everything's been moving during the Asian or London session this week. We can go look at pound dollar, strong move to the downside, just not an entry for us, right? 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, that happened 2 days ago. That was the only entry. I start trading at 7, so, nothing for me to do here. You're getting a bullish pop a little bit, but you're right into this. This was a liquidation run right there, but since you got bullish continuation and a close above, you're probably going to want to watch to see if that continues. If you do want to short the pound, maybe watch one spot 19895. If you get back under that, maybe you can take a short position and base your risk off whatever wick high you get on this hourly candle. I don't love the trade simply because the dollar has been so bullish, and you're running out of room to the downside. This thing has been just steady trending down for a long, long time. Lots and lots of downside. So we don't necessarily want to continue that trade. You are printing a bullish div on the weekly chart. So, look for that maybe to play out eventually. But there's no position to take here. I guess you can watch daily supply if you're looking for longs. If you're trying to pick a bottom on this market, watch one spot 19568. If you get a retest of that level, not today, not necessarily today, but tomorrow, right? Tomorrow would be the time to watch one spot 19568. More than likely today, you're going to continue to be bullish. All right? You'll probably find resistance around the midpoint of this candle. That doesn't mean that's where I'd want to take a short. You're into an old level of support right now. That could act as resistance. But if you want to try to pick the bottom, watch this price here. Nothing else. That price. If you start closing hourlies below that, then leave it alone. There's always an opportunity in the markets. You do not need to rush a position, ever. Euro USD, still nothing for us to do here. Just the dollar was strong the last couple days, and you got a big breakdown on that. Let's see where this is. Now would be a good time to insert ads. That's what YouTube just told me. Now would be a good time to insert some ads. You know what? Let's do that. Let's take YouTube's advice. Bitget, the new partners for the Trade Talk community. They have received regulatory licenses for the US, Canada, as well as Australia, making them a trusted exchange. Nice. Perfect for US users and no KYC. They have different options such as Quanto, which is a swap futures contract, as well as copy trading. Trading on Bitget can be done through either the mobile app or web applications. Bitget has built a reputation of being a safe, dependable, and valid platform. Compared to most popular crypto exchanges, Bitget has by far the lowest transaction fees. The trading platforms are easy to operate, making the deposit and withdrawal process very straightforward. Placing trades on the platform is easy and executions are fantastic. The user interface is nice to look at and not clunky like other exchanges I've used in the past, so if you would like to give Bitget a chance, there is a link in the description down below, and use my referral code XTSC. Once again, that is X-Ray Tango Sierra Charlie when you sign up. Make your first on-chain or fiat deposit, transfer it into your USDT margined futures account, and you will receive a tiered reward of up to $4,000. Show them some love. New sponsor. Click the link. All right. Thanks, YouTube, for the reminder, because I forgot. All right. So here we are, EURUSD. Nothing to do on it. Nothing to do on it at all. Once again, I mean, if you're trying to pick a bottom on it, don't be surprised or shocked if it doesn't work out, because taking trades against the trend, that's typically what you end up with. You don't get continuation. It is profitable. You can take profitable trades, but just be very careful. You can see that today is a very small range day as of now. So, I mean, this almost looks like it wants to see more downside continuation. If you get more downside continuation on the EURUSD, then that typically means the dollar is strong again, and that's not going to help our bullish case on Bitcoin. Let's go over here to the SPX, doing basically the same thing as Bitcoin. We did get a breakout above resistance here 3 days ago, and you've seen bullish continuation from that. And today, you're trading inside of yesterday's range. So as of right now, you're an inside day. Inside day just simply means you're trading inside of the previous day's range. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. If you don't understand what I'm talking about when I say inside day, I do have a video in the beginner start here playlist that explains candlesticks. There's only 3 kinds of them, right? And it tells you about them and how to look at them. All right. So anyways, moving on, you're an inside day on the SPX. I guess the level to watch for long entries opportunities would be 38.24 spot 80. I wouldn't like it if it got down there today, to be honest with you, because that would be a pretty vicious downside move. And I never like to get long in a lot of bearish momentum, and that would be quite a bit of momentum to get back down there. So I probably wouldn't take it if that were to occur today, but maybe tomorrow we can close out the week on a bullish entry on the SPX. I haven't really been messing with it because it's just been trading sideways. It looks to me like there's a lot of people waiting for CPI. That's all I can say. All right, so let me see here. Can we please have a look at the Glassnode? Yeah, we looked at that. I think it's a bit that euro is weak rather than dollar strength here. At least DIX. Why not? Yeah, it's not as strong today or yesterday as it was the previous day, right? So yeah, it could be. There is a website called Finviz. This is not an ad. It's a free website. You just click on Forex and it'll show you. It's a strength meter, so to speak. Here, let me pull it up. Finviz.com. If you guys aren't aware of this website, just pull it up. This is the main page. You can find all kinds of useful info on this website with stocks and stuff, but I basically use the Forex tab. Oh, I forgot to turn on my VPN. Oops, let me go back one. So this is your strength meter, and it shows you how strong everything is relationship to the dollar. There's USD. So yeah, essentially everything is stronger than the dollar today. Aussie being the leader. Pound the second. So, and obviously these numbers will change as the day goes on, and it can change places as the day goes on. Like if the dollar catches a bid, it can absolutely click up a couple spots, take the 4th place on a day. But as of right now, you're right. There's only 2 weaker pairs, and that's Japanese yen, Swiss franc. Those assets have been absolutely getting crushed. Swissy got a bid because of an interest rate hike, but the yen just getting slaughtered. Let's go look at it. Currency futures. I thought it was going to get a little bit of a bid, but it just can't do it. It just cannot get it going. I mean, it's disgusting. The yen is so weak. So disgusting. That's going to be support there at 0.007368.5. We'll see if that level holds a support, and if it does, maybe we get another bounce back up to there. Just not a lot of anything going on in the markets this week. Let's go back to on watch. Just not a lot of stuff going on. Let's go look at Aussie dollar. It's up 0.9% on the day. Big, strong bullish candle coming out of there. Same scenario. If you think you're going to see bullish continuation on Aussie dollar, you're not looking for that entry today necessarily. You will be watching for it tomorrow or Monday, right? And you're going to watch 68023. That's this area here. That is daily demand. You can also watch daily support if it gets down there, and daily support is going to be 67. Well, let's see what it is exactly. I just put this here because there, if you do get a downside move in it, maybe that acts as an intraday support. I don't know. 67801 is daily support. So these two levels are the only two levels I would look to be a buyer on this. And that doesn't mean I am a buyer. Absolutely not. You're getting a strong day today, but that could be sold into. You had 2 strong days here, boom, right back down. So, and this day isn't nearly as big as this day was. So a lot of bullish momentum, a little bit of bullish momentum today, but not quite, uber bullish. But it is getting that break out. So that's nice. Got beautiful intraday support right here, right above that old daily support level. So I don't think you get down there today. But tomorrow or the next day, which would be Monday, we'll see what happens. Can we check Tesla, please? Says Michelle. You know we can. Of course we can, as always. Love to check Tesla for you. Oh, I accidentally alphabetized it on accident. I hate doing that, but it screws up my watch list. All right, so it's trying to hold support at demand. Look at this, traded down to demand. It's harder to see demand on these charts because you get gaps. I understand that, but this is demand. So just pretend that this candle and this candle, or like pretend they touch, right? It's just one big candle. Then that shows you that, that's your demand zone. And did it work? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it worked. This was a run on stops. So I would assume that people bought it on the first tag of demand, and that was a tradable bounce. You can see how as soon as it tagged the level, it traded right back up and closed on, still bearish on the day, but up off the lows, right? So beautiful tag, beautiful day trade. Let's go see if it worked out. Intraday. Right there it is. Boom. Whoop. Right? Nice close on the day. So on the first tag, you did get a tradable bounce right there. And then this was a stop run on the previous day. And then this was a stop run on that day. And that's when you got your move higher. So you can wait for these stop runs to happen. They don't always happen. Sometimes you get one and then it goes. Sometimes you don't get any and it goes. But, it can teach you patience, right? You see here that it took 3 days for this trade to set up. Took 3 days for you to get an actual tradable event. And then where did it stop? Your next support down intraday. Right there. Boom. See ya. To the upside. Right? And this happened during normal trading hours, which is fantastic. Look at this. Big down move on the first 5-minute push. Hit that level, trade at that level for about 25-30 minutes, and then see ya. So it wasn't just, I'm not the only one that watches these things, guys. Other people do. So what do we do now on Tesla? All right, so now you're going to watch support. And what you want to see is you want to see it hold. Here. That's what level that I'd be watching to be a buyer at. All right? And I wouldn't buy a first tag intraday. I would be watching this on the 5-minute chart on the 673.42, that exact price. And I want to see how it trades around it. If it gets back above it, then I might take a long on it using that daily low to manage my risk against. And then maybe it goes higher. It's likely, you could trade all the way up to this bullish candle here, which is going to be supply. It's old resistance as well. So 711 is a good spot to look for a pullback. and watch for it pull back down into 673.42, and then watch that level intraday if you have the ability to do so, to see if it holds as support. You've been trading sideways down here in a range just like everything else, but this range is a little bit bigger, right? But it's still a range, nothing more than a range. And look how daily support held over here. Boom. See ya. Right? So watch 673.42 intraday. You are in the middle of the range, so keep that in mind. This is going to be your range, and you are in the middle of it. All right? I would much rather you wait for another test of support down here, if it comes down there, or wait for it to get up there to take profits if you're long. If you're just looking to buy this because you're in a long time hodl position like me, then I bought some. You know what I mean? I bought some. I mean, you're on the 50 on the monthly. You're on the 50 on the monthly, so we'll see if it gets a bounce from here. Monthly support is holding price. There's monthly support right there. Tag. So that's your range. You're kind of in the middle of it. The daily support level to watch, again, is going to be 673.42. 673.42. Bill Niz. Hello, folks. What do I do when the previous time I checked my Binance spot, I saw a particular available balance check later? There's been a deduction, and I didn't make any trade. Help, please. I can't help you with that, my friend, because I don't have any. I have never opened a Binance account in my life or looked at a Binance chart. So if you're getting withdrawals taken out of your account and Binance has not emailed you, then you need to contact them, maybe change some passwords, because it does look like someone's robbing you. The brokerage or the exchange should not be depleting money out of your account. All right? Now, there's another thing also. Depending on where you bought your Bitcoin will also make it look like a deposit or a withdrawal happened, because the price of your alts or whatever you own inside of that portfolio is down. So that in itself will make the account balance look smaller. But you specifically said it looks like a withdrawal happened. A deduction. Yeah, you used that exact word. So, I mean, definitely contact customer support Binance. I would, 100%. First thing I'd do is change my damn password. I messaged them on social and app, still no word. Anyone useful info? No, man. That sounds like Starlink. I had a little bout with Starlink a few months back. That sounds like their customer support. I'm sorry to laugh, but yeah, just keep trying to contact them. Obviously, change your password though. That'd be my advice. 13th. I don't know what you're saying, Michelle. Specifically on the 13th. Oh, that was, yeah, I know. Never mind. That's when we're having CPI. Gotcha. Euro USD. I mean, we're down on the lows on Euro USD. Mr. Run DMC. Down on the lows. And you're getting a tiny small bounce today. What is this? Euro Swissy. Euro USD right there. You're just getting a small bounce. You can go back out here. You can see like you're at all-time lows. All-time lows. So there's no level I can give you for support other than daily support. Yeah, you still haven't made a 2-week support. You still haven't made a weekly support. You did make a 3-day support and then you broke down. There's literally no level I can give you other than daily support, and that price is 1.01817. That's the only support level you have at all-time lows right now. K4 Liberty, what is happening, my friend? People are so bearish, might be close to a bottom. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm looking for bullish bounces. That's why I'm trading it to the upside. Pi cycle bottom indicator is close too. I'm still concerned this consolidation here is just like the last two consolidations and breaks down. So similar. It's possible, man. It's definitely possible. So lower CPI print could absolutely throw this thing down to a new low. a fresh low on the year. So we'll wait and see. But I think if we get a lower print on the CPI, you're going to see a big bullish candle across most risk assets. I don't know anything about this pi cycle. I have no clue what that is. I know it's an indicator, but I mean, I don't even know which one it is. There's so freaking many of them. Well, it looks like there's only this one. I was lying just then, didn't even realize it. I'm a liar. Let's see what we got. It's not showing me anything at all. Could be my internet though. Let's go to Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. So I mean, I don't know which indicator that is. I'm not familiar with it. Rational evidence says that Bill knows if you can't find anything on Twitter, it means the problem isn't widespread, which means you have to go through customer support. Patience is important, not your keys, not your coins. Love that. Love that. Take his advice, Mr. Bill. You guys are. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm slow. Thank you, K4 Liberty, for the super chat. Good morning, or morning coffee. Thank you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Let me get back up here. All right. Let's see here. TLMUSDT. Let's go take a look at it. I do not like these new little things that it is. I can't stop it, but just don't like it. You're breaking out, right? You broke out above resistance, and you retested resistance today at some point, and it held. So let's go look and see. Right there is when you retested it. Right there. So that was your daily res. Boom. That was the bullish entry. But now it looks like you're coming right back into it. So you have to watch 0.0286 as that's your intraday support. If you lose this on an hourly closing basis, then you're probably going lower. If you're looking for this bullish trend to continue, well, when I say bullish trend, I literally mean yesterday. If you expect yesterday's bullish price action to continue, these are the only two levels at which I would look to be a buyer. And I would only do that if it shows a rejection there. And when I mean rejection, I mean it thwarts any bearish advance. I do not want to see any closures under that. If you do, then it's probably going right back down to the lows. All right? But you do got a slight bit of bullish momentum. Let me see here. And it does look like you found resistance at this old swing low. I mean, it went well above it. But that seems to be where your trouble is to get any kind of bullish continuation. And that's 310. Would I short that? Not really. I'm not looking to short these anymore, guys. They're 90% off in some cases, right? This one right now where it's trading, it's 94% from the all-time highs. There's not much juice left in that lemon to squeeze, right? The only other way to go is sideways or up. I mean, it can still go lower. That's not what I'm saying. But as far as looking for short positions, when an asset is 94% off, I don't think that's the right way to go. Unless you know something that I don't, like this company's about to take a dump like Luna, then yeah, it can trade 99.9% off every day for the next 5 days. So be careful. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. So look for bullish continuation, and those are the two levels to watch. And you know when to take profits, right? At this date, today's high. That's when you're wanting to take your profits. So if you get long here, you'd be taking profits at roughly 303, because that's intraday resistance. And then TRX USDT. Any thoughts on long-term CAD USD? USD CAD. Yeah, let me look at this one and then I'll get to you, Mr. Rational Evidence. Let me see what TRX. Oh, what in the hell? TRX. Oh man, big down move there. That looks like capitulation on Tron. Didn't quite liquidate that, but I mean, what a bounce. What a bounce. All right, so I mean, if you're looking to buy it, you are making high. Excuse me, you are making higher closes. Obviously, this pattern, people are going to look for something like that to happen. Like if I had a fractal, I'm not a fractal guy, but if you put a fractal on this over here, right, you'd be looking for an expansion to the downsides to be, or to the downside to be roughly about the same size as that. Would be a two measured move situation, but I'm not looking for measured moves down here because this is a capitulation if I've ever seen one. So watch support. Daily support is down here. That's the first level to watch for potential buying opportunities. 0.06481. Once again, that's 0.06481. It's not there yet, but when it gets there, you want to see if that level holds as support. If you get a daily close under that, then you're going to test the next one, and that's going to be 63.17. Let's see what you got on the weekly, if you got any supports. You got a massive weekly support at 6. Let's get a line on there. So that'd be like the lowest support level that I would look to be a buyer potentially, 6132. But if this is going to be bullish, you'd want to see it hold there. This doesn't look bullish to me. Not on the weekly. It looks absolutely disgusting. Big, strong move to the downside, and then 3 tiny, tiny little wicks to the upside. This does look to me like they are trying to resell this. So watch those 2 areas of support. Log the amount of each screenshot best. Okay, you guys are still talking to each other. Any thoughts on CAD USD? So I'm in America and we can't trade CAD USD on any broker. I can look at it for you. But you can see that it's on IDC. That's because it's opposite. What we trade is USD CAD. So if I guess I'll look at USD CAD and then I can look at, it's just inverse this chart. So whatever I say will apply to the other side. Obviously you're into resistance. This has been trading very difficult. It's been choppy, and these are dailies. So a lot of choppiness going on this asset, but you are in a slightly upward ascending channel. So watch for support. As long as the dollar is strong, watch for support. Yesterday or the other day had a big day. So the first place I would look for support would be the midpoint of that candle. This candle right here, the midpoint of it could potentially act as support. So that's going to be right there where that red line is, and that price is 1.29633. That is your midpoint right there. So let it get down there and then see if it starts closing dailies above it. If it does, then you can look for bullish expansion to the upside. If you break down below the 618, then you're probably coming all the way back down to test demand at 128831. And then, like I said, just inverse that on CAD USD. Same thing. You're at support, right? At support. So you want to look for the trend to continue. It's down. It's just very choppy, very sideways, very difficult trading this. Midpoint of this is going to be same scenario. This is basically the only thing I use my Fibonacci retracement for, is to get the midpoint and the 618. I don't care about any other number. Midpoint's going to be 0.7715. 0.7715. Start closing dailies above that, then watch the old support level or supply. This is supply. Boom. 0.7758. We in America cannot trade this asset. So hopefully that helps, my friend. I sold 60% of my euros last week for USD. Half luck, I must say. It's not, well, I guess. I mean, every trade we take potentially has that luck scenario to it. I mean, because we don't know what price is ever going to do, right? Even though we know what levels we're watching, when I take an entry, I never know if that trade's going to be successful or not until, it is or not, right? That's the only thing we can do as traders. We take positions at high probable areas, and then price moves in our direction. And if it does, we take profits. And that's how we operate. It's a good move to the downside. Very good move. Wes, did you run this morning, Wes? Euro USD does not have the levels on the Oanda chart. Oh, shit. I keep forgetting that I'm on FX. Guys, most of the charts that you're going to see on FX for me for now is going to be f4x.com info, and they don't line up. I had a couple people in my Discord a little bit confused on USD JPY the other day because I was watching the weekly open, and the weekly open on Oanda was not the same. So if you're looking at a level or you're trading a level that I've told you to look at on the stream, make sure you check that level on forex.com, then on your exchange or your brokerage. It's just I have a small account that I've been playing with for a long time, and I've gotten used to trading or looking at forex.com's data. So apologies if I have confused anybody on that. Thank you, Wes, for telling me. Euro USD does have levels, so we're not at all-time lows is what Wes is telling me. And you're not. You're not around anything on the monthly. Let's see if we're around anything on the weekly. Yep. You do got some stuff over here. Spread it out. Let's give it a look-see. Shut up. Damn phone. My phone I forgot to turn the alarms off. So we got, that's disgusting looking, but technically it's still a level. 1.0130. So parity. Real close to parity. I would just watch parity myself. Parity is just 1.0000000. That's parity. So just watch parity. Control H. Oh, history. Don't really want to pull up that. Alt H. Let's make it white and bright. Oh, let's make it yellow and thick. How's that? There we go. Go in here and change it to parity. Coordinates. $1. There you are. $1 is parity on Euro USD. Probably get a bounce from there. Because on even Oanda's data feed, you weren't there for very long. But you do have an actual old weekly res at 1.01300, and then parity is right under you. So it could be where we find support. And that puts you up at around 109 on the dollar to reach parity on euro. All right, yeah. Thanks, Wes. Appreciate that. We are in two levels from 2002. Yeah, that's a long time ago. 20 years. Well, I'm glad you guys were able to get that under control or get that taken care of. That's terrible. Hopefully you do get that taken care of, Mr. Bill. Never like to hear that. I've never heard it, actually. I've never heard anybody with that kind of a situation. So if you want, keep me advised. Bitcoin's still not doing anything. Still not doing anything. Anybody else got something you want me to look at before we wrap up the stream? USD JPY. Too short or not too short? That is the question. Daily supply is kind of holding. Oof, look at how beautiful on daily supply. Once again, this is going to be not Oanda. Let me look at Oanda. Let's see if it's got the same daily supply. And it does. Let's see if the hourly looks as pretty. And it does. Beautiful. So I might be looking to short this again. Call me nuts, I guess. I can't get long on it. And I'm looking for the dollar to pull back a little bit. That's been pretty strong. You know what I mean? Technically, you're supposed to buy uptrends, not sell into them. And it doesn't look like a selling day either. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on daily supply on USD, Euro USD, USD JPY. Let's go look at Aussie USD or Aussie Yen, and then we'll probably wrap it up. It's up really big on the day as well. Up pretty big on the day as well. It's coming into daily res. We still have our quarterly level up there. So we were looking for a short, but we was looking for it to test daily supply and then roll over. Obviously, we thought we were going to get it, but we didn't. And the short has been playing out. You're in the daily res. I wouldn't look to short it today based on daily res because you're up almost a whole %, which means you are strong. You don't necessarily want to short into strength. Matic, let's pull up Matic. I'll look at it on Coinbase. Looks like Matic's found a near-term low. Beautiful. Bounced right back up into supply, and that's where she rolled over. I mean, you don't get any better than that. Look at that. Just absolute perfection, man. Daily supply held 3 days in a row. You got a stop run on the last day. This day right here just squeaked just above this, and this is stop loss. And then boom, down. So far you're getting a bounce. I mean, and it looks good. That was resistance, held perfectly yesterday. That was the trade. Today, is there a trade? Not really. You're at resistance, which was yesterday's close, and you tested yesterday's open, and you got a slight bounce. Would I look to buy that again? I don't know. That's yesterday's open. This is support down there. Yeah, that's going to be potential support. So, I mean, I guess you could potentially watch this down here for a bullish entry. You might not get down there. If I was wanting this asset to remain bullish today, I would definitely not want it to get down there. I would watch at 0.51662978. I know that's a long ass number. Just because of how good that was checked, and then it fell, then you broke out. So it's not quite demand because it encompasses the whole candle. But if you get down there, watch that. An hourly close under means leave it alone because you're probably going to test support. But if you get a tag of that and then you start to trade away, that might be the bullish entry. Take profits at resistance 5266. We'll just call it 5267. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you trade. Oh, well, obviously, if you have any questions and I didn't get to them, just drop them down in the comment section. I always read them all. Thank you all so much. Make sure y'all trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.